Your family ganged up on me today, and they kicked me out of the entire family.
What?
No, you don't. Don't you dare tell that lie.
Miranda, are you serious?
I am absolutely serious. If you're gonna run in here and tell Calvin, then you better tell the whole story.
Okay.
Nah, Laura gotta go. This is ridiculous. Like I said, leading up to these final episodes, the only way that Calvin and Laura won't get married is if they ruin her character, which is essentially what just happened. Now, basically, my theory was like, yeah, Laura isn't going to come out of this clean. She's either going to be exposed as a cheater, or she's going to get fed up to the point that she can't marry Calvin because she knows that in his heart of hearts, he's conflicted because he's confided in CJ about this and Calvin Jr. overheard it, but he hasn't admitted it to Laura or Miranda. So now they just gone and made Laura insufferable. And I just hate to see her go out like this. And I stand on the soapbox like I have been for a while, saying that I acknowledge that Laura is not a fan favorite character. She was, let's be real, never honestly, received by the fans well at all. And it's kind of just weird how we're going into season 14. So what? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we would have been going into season 14. We've had 5 seasons of this Laura and Calvin thing. But if I remember correctly, Laura didn't really show up until like the back half of season 9. The first chunk of episodes was essentially Miranda trying to get Calvin back. But yeah, so essentially 4.5 to 5 seasons of Calvin and Laura. They just stretched this out way too long. So either get married or don't. But at this point, just don't, because there is no coming back from the stunt she just pulled. Now, it was bad enough when she got pissy at Ella for, helping out Miranda instead of going to the wedding tasting with her. But then, of course, these last 2 episodes, man, it's just been wild. From her showing like an agitated wino persona and getting involved in Calvin and his potential legal issues with Tracy over Calvin Jr. to now just straight up disrespecting not just Ella, but all the women in the house because she feels excluded and not respected. Calvin, all I'm saying is that's your mama. And if your wife to be can't respect your mom in her own home, then no. And like I said, Calvin is no saint. He's cheated on Laura twice. But if they wanted to write Laura off or cancel the wedding, I just hate that they're doing it like this because, like I said, Laura has not or has ever been a fan character. I mean, a fan favorite character, but seeing her go out like this is just messed up. It really is. I mean, even Lisa has had development. Yeah, she's been kind of MIA because once Janine and Jasmine, well, specifically, once Jasmine came back into the fold, Lisa kind of got shoved to the background where she would like make more of a recurring kind of role appearances as opposed to being in almost every episode when China was not in the series. But at least she's shown a lot of growth. Heck, when Laura was being disrespectful to Ella, even Lisa was telling her to get out. So it's just one of those things where they're making her play the victim card, start nonsense, and let's be real, it boils down to Miranda being someone who's not just going to disappear. Miranda is the the mother of Ella's grandchild, and ex-wife or not, she's still part of the family. It's just that, and people have been saying this for the longest time, you can tell it's getting under Laura's skin because, well, as her parents pointed out, Calvin comes with a lot of baggage, but Laura said, I love him anyway. And I mean, for her to just all of a sudden just be not just passive aggressive, but just straight up confrontational, like, hey, I'm the new wife, so you have to leave. That's not happening. Not to mention, Jasmine invited everybody over for a project. It wasn't like, the women getting together. And let's not forget, like, several seasons ago, there was like a family game night and Laura was invited, but it was Miranda who not just only showed up unannounced, but decided to invite herself into the event. And then by the end of the episode, Laura apologized when in actuality it was Miranda starting the stuff. So it's just one of those things where, yeah, Laura, I don't feel bad for you because you're making yourself out to be the victim. You're snapping on everyone when you're the one who's starting the stuff, because she came in there to talk to Ella, didn't realize it was a get together. And even though she was told like, no, it's okay, stay, Miranda, I wasn't talking to you. And I'm just like, oh, snap. So literally you just went into the bee's nest, decided to hit one of the workers, and then not expect to get ganged up on by everybody else. Because my favorite moment of the finale was when she went back to the condo and was going to tell Calvin about how, look, your family ganged up on me and kicked me out of the house. But then Miranda came in right after saying, if you're going to run your mouth, you better tell the whole story. And I just love that, because Laura would have, gotten Calvin gassed up. Then he would have went over there trying to, get his family to apologize, only to realize like, no. And that was another part when Calvin did go over to see his mom and just explain like, yeah, she said to get your narrow ass out of the house, and like you threw her out. And it's like, Calvin, does that sound like us at all? And yeah, Calvin's going to have to reevaluate several things, because Laura just has this, mindset of, hey, I'm coming in here, I'm going to be Calvin's wife. You shouldn't be hanging out with the ex-wife. That's not how it's going to fly. Like, keep in mind, Miranda's character was insufferable like the first couple of seasons of the reboot. Like, from popping up at the condo unannounced, asking for more child support, the jealousy of Calvin moving on and things like that. And it was just like, well, you're the one that walked on him. Like, don't get me wrong. Calvin made his mistakes during the marriage. I am not denying that whatsoever. But you're the one who walked out saying you wanted a divorce. So don't just sit up here trying to get your man back because he's leveled up after, you divorced him. Now, with Laura, I just hate that since the wedding is allegedly coming up, even though they were engaged at the end of the last season, it's just one of those, season 9. So it's been like 4 seasons of them being engaged and planning this, wedding and stuff like that. It's just like, if you wanted them to not get married, just have a falling out between the parents. Why not just do that? I don't know, because it just really sucks that Laura's character, I think, honestly, not even the worst part was disrespecting Ella in her own home, but going so far as to tell Miranda, get your son, and then Christian being upset about it. Man, shoot. This kind of undoes that one episode where Miranda wanted to get into a fight with Laura because Christian said that Laura snatched him up, but that's because he was jumping on the couch or something after he was told not to. And in order to avoid him falling and hitting his head, yeah, she snatched him up. So now it's like, okay, Laura's true colors are showing, and it's only a matter of time before, something falls apart. And guess what? She invited her mom, called her mom as reinforcements. And it's like, what's your mom going to do? You got a house full of Paynes, and they've dealt with bougie people before. So all I'm saying is, if Laura thinks her mom is going to fix anything, it's not going to work, because they've dealt with Tracy. They dealt with crackhead Janine. The Payne family has held it down for so long. And not to mention, Miss Ella and her girls whooped the hell out of Regina's abusive deacon husband, Bobby. So, oh man. And plus the finale started off with the women kind of telling, talking about Ella, twitching and whatnot after hearing about Laura being mad at her. And like, when was the last time you had to check somebody? So yeah. And plus Laura lied saying, she said, oh, you told my daughter to get her narrow ass out of your house, when that's not what Ella said at all. So I just really feel like, Laura, she just needs to go. I mean, Laura said you're done. If you're done, then why did you call your mom to go check on Ella? Just say you're done and just leave. It's just ridiculous. So when I think about the Calvin Jr. situation, it just felt like a lot of fans think that, oh, this was her way of like getting rid of Junior. It's like, okay, well, his mom can take him, and then they're in Houston. Then it's me and Calvin, and the only thing left is Christian and Miranda. But no, she took it upon herself to contact Devin. And even though things worked out in Calvin's favor, she literally said, oh, I just decided to wing it. I didn't know my plan was going to work. So I just feel like, if nothing else, Laura's coming across as, the gold digging potential stepmom in the Parent Trap movie who wanted to, send the girls off to boarding school or whatever just to get, her man, so to speak, and it didn't work out. So yeah, I just feel like Laura, she there's no way this wedding is going to happen. There's literally no way. Just say that, you know what, it's not going to work out because I'm not even going to say baggage, but there's a lot that comes with being married with me. And if you can't accept the fact that, my sons and their mothers are still involved with our lives, then, then this isn't a family for you. So yeah, that really just, nah, Laura's doing too much. And like I said in my other videos, had she tried to like tell Tracy to get your son and leave the same way she told Miranda, Tracy would have whooped that ass. So holy crap. But let's talk about it in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.